Greetings, YouTube. This is how I started the last tour I did, so I figured, why break with tradition? So here it is, a tour of my new home. Oh, let me get up, and here we have my desk in all its glory. Computer, printer, which I don't use very often, our wonderful router, and of course, the light you always see casting a shadow on my face. And we come over here. We have, of course, Gnarl Thought Tap, a space frigate by a guy named Eric Wren, R-E-N, that I bought at a con years and years ago. A skeleton by my wife. A very large Maglite. And here we have the bookcase you always see next to me when I'm doing videos. Up top we have role-playing games. And the top two shelves are dictionaries and word-related books, reference books. Then we have a shelf of just general stuff, my GPS, my medical supplies for doing all my blood testing and my blood pressure. And then we have a lot of 3.5 and just general D&D books, like there's my first edition D&D books right there. And the bottom's got just in general stuff, music and things like that. Then we have Shredder, a real-life oak chest, which every gamer should have. And we have the window outside my office, a sun wheel, a sword. Then we have my bookshelves. And we have, that's the top shelf is all gaming stuff, and this entire shelf is gaming stuff. At some point I will do a proper tour of the gaming collection. Today is not that day. And we have that cabinet down there is full of photographs and things like that. More gaming stuff, though my Oxford English Dictionary is over there on the right side. More gaming, and yet more gaming. And we have more role-playing games, a few role-playing related things, and some space for future expansion. Mostly 3.5 books, some more 3.5 and some more space for expansion. More role-playing games, a rain stick. And this shelf over here is all boxed games. And then we have a dragonfly, and a God's Eye that my wife made for me, plus some of our stuffies, including chickenpox. More role-playing games, some stuff on top. And then we have this entire bookshelf is nothing but books waiting for me to read them. This is my to-read pile. I have lots of books in my to-read pile, and of course lots of flashlights at the moment because they haven't really found a new home yet. So I've just kind of shoved them over there. And then we have a bear wearing a jester's hat. Because, you know, everyone needs a bear with a jester's hat. This is the character, my first edition D&D character, Lord Ranger Takan. It was a portrait that the friend of mine made for me many, many years ago. And we have a short sword. We have a closet which has a camera bag on it, and a coat of arms, which I used when I was active in the SCA, though technically it's still my coat of arms. Then we have in here a noisy door, because the door has got weapons on the back of it, along with a stepladder. And this closet is where I have tools. The top bin is my wife's crafting stuff. The bottom bin is tools. The one down there at the very base, which you can barely see, has more weapons in it. The D&D box, some gaming magazines, some comic books, and a whole lot of weapons. And look it's a cat. What a shocker. There's a cat because the door is very rarely open. So she's like, yay, the door's open. And then we have my toolbox, which I love ever so much. I just got this bottom section here on sale for $90, just prior to moving. Yes, and that is a war club hanging off the side of my desk. Reciprocating saw hanging off there. Cordless drill and drill bits, and of course another LED flashlight. But this is where I keep most of my tools. The rest of the tools are in the closet over there. Then we leave the office, and we have, I think I've shown these before. These are kabuki masks, style masks that were some kind of giveaway or something for swag, but I found it at a yard sale for $1. And we have a linen closet, which is not all that exciting. And then we have the laundry area. We have my dryer, my washer, some cleaning supplies, a table we use for folding things, which I have got a bracket that holds it vertically so it's out of the way. Yay, a litter box. Window outside. Didn't you see my neighbor's house? Not all that thrilling a view. My wife's sewing cabinet and another sewing set in the bottom. A file cabinet, which she just got recently. That white shelf here has got my wife's crafting books and references and things in it, and my mother made that shelf for me years and years ago. Then we have some bookshelves here, which are, some of them are just not all that accessible at the moment because I don't need them to be all that acceptable. This is just general reference for the most part. This cabinet right there, that bookshelf right there, has a lot of occult and pagan information. My wife's camera bag and my duplex printer. You notice the wall does in fact need painting. I am well aware of this fact. We just haven't had time to do it. And that door leads to a stairway which goes out to the outside world. There's a solid wood door here with a dud bolt, and there's another one down at the bottom, so it's fairly secure. And then we have a couple of scrolls which I received when I was active in the SCA. Then we have, hey, it's another cat. Now we're into the bedroom, rather the kitchen rather. I was looking at the bedroom, and this shelf here has my weapons reference books and some art at the bottom. These three shelves right here are all weapons reference books and a couple of statues and such that belong to my wife. So when I say that I have a lot of books on weapons and such, I mean it. This isn't including the stuff I have for gaming. And then we have my wife's bunny clock, which keeps horrible time, but it's adorable. We have the bathroom, standard shower. I put this grab bar in there because I have some balance issues. Our three plants, we have a spider plant, a pothos plant, and an orchid that a friend gave me, my friend Felicia gave me for Yule. Then we have the standard bathroom. Hello! Then we go into the proper kitchen here. We have our microwave stand, which has got just some stuff along the bottom down there. It's pretty much all cat stuff, food and things like that. An abacus, because you know everyone needs an abacus. Here is the kitchen table, which you saw in the housewarming video. Door to the outside, which I've shown in a video. My new stove, which my mother purchased for me. And the counter. And I specifically wanted to do this video today because this counter and this sink are going away shortly. The counter is on order. The sink is sitting on my porch. So when the counter comes in, I get to put the new sink in there. And of course we have a shelf full of cookbooks and some display space for things that we don't use very often. And then we come into the living room and we have yet more bookshelves. We have a wall clock, some general stuff, a few gaming things I haven't got around to reading. My wife's antique desk, this belonged to her grandmother. We use that for our business and things like that, business information, bills, stuff like that. Another bookcase in the corner, just general information, I believe. This is where I sit to do my exercises and read. It's a hassock that we store computer information and hardware and such inside of. A couple of lamps that we got right after we moved, which I happen to really like. They do a wonderful job of illuminating the room. Nice for reading. The window outside of my home, one of the things I love about this place I live is that even though it's really gray and you can't see much today, I have lots and lots of sky. There are no buildings across the street from me blocking my view of the sky. It's very pleasant. There's my car. And then we have just the futon, which folds out into a queen size bed. And we have my coffee table that I had made for us. Somebody had it custom made for us. Blankie pile and this is a proper dictionary stand, which I actually found my dictionary. This dictionary had been missing for 10 years, buried in a box. I was so happy to find it. It's got like some documents in it, which I was really looking for. And then we have a couple of large closets. This closet goes the entire width of the room, which is very nice. So I've got lots of space for clothing and things like that. Old typewriter my wife likes. A record cabinet. If you open that top up, there's a record player in there. Down there is vinyl and some audio tapes, things like that. Box is full of 400 DVDs. I have lots and lots of DVDs. Then we have our entertainment center, which has, our VHS, a VCR and a DVD player, TV, a bunch of movies, and I haven't really figured out what we're going to do with that space yet. We haven't decided that. And then we have my Opie, so I have more than one Opus. Then this rack, this bookshelf here is almost all art and humor. It's a mixing of art and humor, but most of this is art. Like 3/4 of this is art books. And then we have DVDs. These are the ones that I have not stripped out of their cases. These are the ones that that mean something to me. And that's a ukulele, because what YouTuber doesn't have a ukulele? Then we have a cabinet here full of my ceramic and my glass. The bottom is a mixed mash of stuff. But this is a collection of glass pieces I've collected over the years, gifts, things I've purchased. That's a Waterford crystal bowl we got for our wedding. Lots of ceramics, and lots of the ceramics in here were purchased very, very cheaply. For example, this one, and this one, and that one right there with the 2 stripes on it were all picked up for like $1 or $2 at thrift stores, and they're all handmade. And that one right there is one I made, this little blue one right there. And then we have a bobcat skull and a fox skull, shark jaw, and some general collection of things. And that is an ashtray that my grandfather made out of a shell from a ship that he was on during World War II. It's a Japanese figure that my wife owns, and that's her bank up there. So it's a reproduction. It is not an antique. And then lastly, we have the bedroom, which is one of the things I love about this place. It is very large. We have a queen-size bed, and it still doesn't fill up the room. We have our closet. Hey, laundry. A dresser that my wife and I share, along with mostly my wife's stuff. I have a couple of stuffed animals up there, and some more stuffed animals over there. And this is general reference here that I just needed a place to put it because I never have enough bookshelves. This bookshelf here belongs to my wife. And these boxes you see right here, those are my wife's. I have nothing to do with these boxes. I emptied all of mine. This is hers, her dresser, and this is mine, along with a mirror. And we have a bell in the corner. And this window right here you're seeing here is got light blocking curtains, and I never ever open it. And until summertime, I won't. Frankly, I don't need the light. It's just too bright when I'm trying to sleep in the daytime. So folks, that's been my apartment, or my home. It is an apartment, but it's where I live now. And I hope that you enjoyed the tour. And if anyone has any specific questions, please feel free to ask. And here we are, back where we started, in the view that you see every time you come to my channel.